Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over every item in Mario Kart World explained. Now, this video is going to be particularly useful for individuals. Let's say that you just got the new Mario Kart World game and you're wondering what each and every one of these items do. Well, let's actually go over it. If you want to go ahead and access this menu yourself, what you could actually go ahead and do is that you can actually click on the manual here, then click on items, and you could read about the items yourself. But if you want to keep on continue watching the video, then we'll explain each of the items. So the first item that you have is a banana, and it's basically a slippery obstacle that if an opponent hits it, it's going to send the vehicle spinning out of control. So essentially, you don't want to ride over bananas. The next item that you have is triple bananas, and it's basically having 3 bananas within one item. In order to place a banana, all you've got to do is click on the L button, which is this button right over here, and it's going to place a banana right behind you as you're riding forward. The next item that we have is a dash mushroom. So all it does is give you a burst of speed when in. Likewise, with any of the items in Mario Kart World, all you've got to do is click on the left button in order to use the item. Then you have triple dash mushrooms, which similar to the bananas, it's basically having 3 mushrooms in once. It's simply just going to give your cart a speed boost. The next item we have is the golden dash mushroom. So this item can be used multiple times for a brief period to give the driver several boosts. So essentially what you need to do is that if you get this mushroom here, you need to be spamming L just so you can get all the speed boosts, as many as possible, before the time runs out. Now, you only hold this item temporarily, so it's not like you can just use it once. If you only use it once the entire duration, it's going to run out. But if you use it 10 times before it runs out, that makes a lot more sense. Likewise, just click on L in order to use it. Next, we have a mega mushroom. So this is a large mushroom that once used, it basically makes your driver and your vehicle larger. And so it gives you a boost of speed, and it also allows you to run over other racers. So this is basically a combination of these mushrooms, except now you can hit other racers and run over them. The next item that we have is a green shell. So this travels in a straight line and will send the driver it hits in a crashing to a stop. So you do want to avoid these. Likewise, you have triple green shells. So this is a set of 3 green shells that basically orbit around the driver vehicle, and you can press L one at a time in order to launch each green shell. Now, the red shell is basically a vehicle-seeking shell. So if you launch this, it's going to target whoever is in front of the driver. So whoever is in front of the driver who threw it. Unlike the green shell goes in a straight line. The red shell actually tracks onto a target in front of you. Now, triple red shells, it's basically the same thing as a red shell. It's a set of 3 red shells that orbit the vehicle, and you can press L to launch each of the shells as they track onto drivers that are in front of you. Next, you have a spiny shell. So what this does is that it goes on to the lead driver, okay? So it homes in on it, it tracks on it, and it will keep going even if it hits other racers on its way to crash into the driver in first place. So this spiny shell is basically that big blue explosion that you see, especially if you're in first place. This will most likely hit you, but it basically tracks onto you, and then it hits you and you get stunned. Next, we have a coin shell. So this is a shiny shell that drops coins and crashes into drivers as it moves along the course. The next item that we have is a fire flower. So this is an item that lets the driver throw fireballs by pressing once again L. So drivers hit by the fireballs will spin out of control. Then you have an ice flower. So this is an item that lets the driver throw ice balls. So what this does is that drivers hit by the ice balls will spin out of the control. Now, the only difference is that, it's a fire flower versus an ice flower. They both spin drivers out of control. The next thing that you have is a boomerang flower. So this allows you to throw a boomerang, and once hit by a boomerang, you will once again spin out of control. Next, you have bullet bill. So this is an item that transforms your driver into bullet bill for a short time. You'll essentially just turn into a rocket along the course and send any other drivers that they hit flying. So bullet bill is basically almost synonymous to mega mushroom, where you get a speed boost, you turn into a different shape or object, and you're basically able to spin drivers that you hit out of control. Next, you have Bob-omb. And so this is a walking bomb that detonates after a short time or if a driver runs into it. Basically, you throw it, and if a driver hits on it, it'll get caught into the explosion. Next item we have is hammers. So you can throw these hammers that can be repeatedly be thrown by pressing L. So anyone who hits the hammer, it basically plants onto the floor. But you can throw as many hammers as you can repeatedly by once again pressing L. So we've covered basically the first 3 rows of items, and it's very important to keep note of items that you want to go ahead and spam L on. So you have the triple dash mushrooms, you have the ice flower, the fire flower, the boomerang flower, and you also have the hammer. So these are items where you repeatedly want to keep throwing them until the timer on the item runs out. The next item that we have is a super horn. So what this does is that it knocks back nearby drivers and items. So I believe that if a driver is right next to you and you use this, it is going to knock them back. Next, you have a question mark block. So this is going to produce coins every time the driver presses L, and it also gives a slight speed boost. And in case you didn't know, coins also tend to give a slight speed boost. Moving on, this is a good tie-in to coins. So this is an item that gives the driver 2 coins if you have this item, and then having more coins will increase a driver's speed. Next, you have Boo. So this turns the driver transparent for a short period of time, allowing them to pass safely through dangerous items like bananas or shells. So if you know that there's an item coming after you, if you know the shell is about to hit you, you can use this item to be transparent. And it also steals items from rival drivers. Next, you have Blooper. And what this does is it sprays ink on all other rival drivers, making it difficult for them to see. Next, you have Comic. And so this is an item that summons Comic, whose magic causes strange things to occur. Basically, there's a bunch of different random things that can happen from this. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Next, you have a Feather. So what this does is that it leaps you into the air, and it also allows you to avoid items like bananas and shells. Almost pretty synonymous to Boo item. But what this does is that in battle mode also, it allows you to fly over rivals and let the user steal balloons or coins. Next, you have Superstar. So this item makes a driver who uses it faster and invincible for a while, and causes any drivers that they run into to be sent spinning. So basically with Superstar, with Bullet Bill, and with Mega Mushroom, you basically turn invincible, you get a speed boost, and anyone that you hit, they will be sent spinning. Then you have Lightning. So this calls down lightning strikes on other drivers, destroying any items that they're carrying, as well as slowing them down and shrinking them for a while. So this is a widespread lightning bolt that hits all the other drivers so that you can go ahead and catch up. Next, you have Dash Food. So Dash Food gives drivers a boost of speed, and it also may allow you to change outfits and unlock new outfits. So if you see Dash Food, go ahead and get it and use it, and it might unlock a new outfit for the driver that you're using. But there you have it, guys. That right there is every single item in Mario Kart World explained. If you guys know of a better or easier way to actually explain this, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.